The NBA playoffs are finally confirmed. This is the bracket. This may go down as one of the craziest postseasons of all time. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Comment down below what your most intriguing playoff matchup is before I talk about it. This is going to be a lot of fun. I am so excited. Let's start with the Western Conference. The play-in tournament for the Western Conference is going to be a lot of fun. If you wonder why I'm looking over, I'm just looking at notes and stuff. But this is going to be a lot of fun, right? The 7 seeded Warriors, the 8 seeded Grizzlies. Those two are going to play each other. The winner goes and plays the Houston Rockets in the first round. The nine seeded Kings, 10 seeded Mavs. The Kings will host the Mavs. The winner goes to play the loser of the 7 and 8 seed game. And when we see that, that team will, whoever wins that game will end up going to play the OKC Thunder, arguably the best team in the league. So let's start with the 7 and 8 seed game. So the Warriors and Grizzlies are going to face off. Like I said, the Warriors are hosting against the Grizzlies. Winner goes plays the Rockets. Now, I think that this game is going to be huge, absolutely huge, because I believe that both of these teams can defeat the Houston Rockets in the first round. And that is exactly why I think the Warriors and Grizzlies are going to go at it. And I mean at it. You have an old team in Steph Curry. You have Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, excuse me. You have the Grizzlies, who have the young guys who were just injured last year. They're back in the playoffs. John Morant, who has been doing questionable things in the NBA. This game is going to be nuts, and I have a feeling this is going to go down to the wire. I honestly don't think I could pick because I think, especially now that Jimmy Butler may be injured. You saw the big knee to the thigh that he got in the game that just happened actually literally 15 minutes ago before I'm recording this. But yeah, so that's something to look out for. And I don't think I can honestly pick Warriors Grizzlies because both of these teams, in my opinion, are still contenders to end up making a big time run, a scary run that could scare every single team in the West. But I will say the one thing that I do believe is that the Warriors and the Grizzlies are both going to end up going to make it past the play-in tournament, right? I don't really believe in the Kings or Mavericks right now. The Mavericks lost Kyrie Irving. Yeah, they're not bad necessarily. Same thing with the Kings. But neither of those teams, in my opinion, are like super threats to do anything. I would not be shocked if they ended up making it out of the play-in tournament, but I honestly just don't think those two teams are at the same level as the Warriors and the Grizzlies. So, in my opinion, the Warriors Grizzlies are going to end up getting past the play-in. We'll see what happens because I don't know if the Thunder are beatable, and especially in the first round. And I think the Rockets definitely are more beatable. So that's why I think the Grizzlies Warriors are going to be such a big game. But let's move over to the Eastern Conference, right? You got the 7 seeded Magic, 8 seeded Hawks. They'll play each other. The winner goes and plays the Celtics. Sadly for them, I'm very sorry. And so this isn't going to be as intense because I don't really think that these are two teams that are going to end up taking on the Celtics and like actually, giving them a series. If I had to pick, I think the Magic would give them a better series, but I don't really think it's that close. And I think the Celtics would walk all over either of these teams. Same thing with the 1 seeded Cavs. All four of these teams that are in this Eastern Conference play-in tournament, I don't believe in. I believed in the Magic at the beginning of the year, but they just kind of haven't been performing well recently, and I think that's going to show. But as far as my predictions go, I would pick the Magic over the Hawks. I think the Hawks will beat whoever wins Heat and oh my goodness, the Heat and Bulls. I just blanked, but yeah, I think those two teams are going to make it. I don't think the Eastern Conference playing is going to be that much fun. Along those lines, right? The Cavs and Celtics are two teams that I don't see ending up losing in the first round. I think they're the two best teams in basketball. Obviously, the Thunder are the other one, but I don't see them losing in the first round, especially with the options of teams, like I said. So I'm not even going to talk about those series. Both the teams, in my eyes, are going to win, and I don't think it'll be that close. There's not much to talk about. I kind of already talked about the 1 and 2 seed in the Western Conference as well. So that knocks out a chunk of games. That's about half the games done. Yeah, I think the Rockets. Just to summarize for you guys, I think the Rockets are a much easier team to beat in a 7 game series than the Thunder are. And I think that the Thunder are going to make it out whoever they play. I think the Rockets are going to be given a hard time just simply because of how young they are and inexperienced they are. We'll see though. I do think the Rockets are still going to be a contender, and I think they're absolutely have a good shot at the championship. The closer the seeds are together, the more interesting I believe that the series are going to be. Um, and I think this Bucks Pacers series is going to be a lot of fun. This is all barring one thing and one thing only. Will Damian Lillard be healthy? This is 100% the biggest question mark in this entire series, and it's not close. And if Damian Lillard ends up not being healthy, I would really struggle to give the Bucks a chance in this series. But if he does end up coming in and being completely healthy, I think that the Bucks are going to absolutely do very well in this series. Right, the Pacers had a phenomenal run last year, a very surprising run last year, where they ended up getting to the conference finals, and because of that, uh, I do think the Pacers are going to be okay in this playoffs, and I think they're going to have a lot of confidence. But the Bucks have the best player in the series. They have Giannis. They have Damian Lillard, maybe. So this is going to be a really interesting series, and I am very concerned about this Damian Lillard situation. Obviously, this is way more important than basketball. But if he comes back for basketball's sake, this will be an awesome series. By the way, I meant to mention it too. Pascal Siakam also has a lingering elbow injury, so keep an eye on that as well. When it comes to the Eastern Conference, this is by far the most entertaining series, in my opinion. This is a game. This is a series that could go 7 games. The Pistons are a young, upcoming, hard battling, hard nosed, everything you can want in an intense playoff team. And the Knicks are just extremely talented. And I, I don't even know who to pick because, to be completely honest with you, I think the fact that the Knicks have so many players playing so many minutes throughout the entire regular season is going to hurt them. And I mean that with everything in me. The Pistons are a team that I believe could absolutely go very far in the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons are winning the season series 3-1. I don't know, you guys. If I'm a predictor, I think that the Pistons have a very good chance to rip apart this Knicks team that everyone believed was going to be one of the best teams in the entire league. I think the Pistons have a chance to upset every single team in the Eastern Conference. That's my first round predictions for the Eastern Conference. Now let's talk about the gauntlet in the Western Conference. There's 2 games that we need to talk about. My Nuggets versus the Clippers and the Lakers versus the Timberwolves. Those are going to be insane series. The Clippers are scary for a few reasons, right? They have Kawhi Leonard, they have James Harden, they have Norman Powell, they have Zubac. Those 4 guys alone are going to be trouble for the Nuggets, and I mean that in every way possible. Um, and honestly, because of the fact that the Clippers have so many possible game clinchers, game enders, whatever you want to call it, it's going to make the series very hard for the Nuggets. And I think that Nuggets, especially me, I'm a little bit worried about that. And because of that, I think the Clippers have every single thing that they need to beat the Nuggets. But there's one thing they don't have, and that is the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. I'm just now realizing the last time these teams played each other was in December. Um, so that's interesting. But what I will say is these stats 28, 10, and 6, that's going to be so hard to stop. I know Zubac has had a phenomenal year. I know he's had a great year, but he is not at all he has not played as well, especially against Jokic, that he has against the rest of the league. And I know everyone's like, oh, Zubac is going to be Jokic stopper. I get that. I don't think so. I think Jokic is going to somehow average 35, 40 in these playoffs. And so I think because of that, the Nuggets are always in it, and that is going to be the case for them throughout the rest of the playoffs. Bro, I was trying to pull up season stats, and I'm just looking at this. You see D'Angelo Russell as the face of the Lakers when I look up this stupid stat. Shout out StatMuse. The Lakers Timberwolves series might end up being the best series in the entire playoffs, and I mean that as genuinely as I can. The Lakers have LeBron and Luka. It's as simple as that. That team is going to be very hard to beat simply because they have 2 of the best players in the entire league. The Timberwolves made a huge run last year, and they have the experience now. I am so curious to see this what this is going to look like. It's 2 teams that, as a Nuggets fan, I absolutely despise. Man, let me know what you guys think. I don't know what to say. Like, this is gonna be nuts.